So next part we're going to do 4 rounds of strength. We're going to do a little lower body for part A, and we're going to do a little upper body for part B. Again, whether you're middle school, high school, advanced, beginner, whatever, they're all going to be 3 similar things. You have a few different options for each one. Again, I'll explain kind of how to scale it, how to make it a little bit harder, maybe a little bit easier for yourself. So our lower body, we're going to start for the more advanced. We're going to do a Bulgarian split squat. You'll just be having your rear leg elevated. So whatever foot you want to go first, I would probably go with your non-dominant first, a little bit weaker, but back leg is going to go up on the chair. Main thing is we're trying to go down, trying to get to parallel, trying to just work one single leg at a time. So if I kind of crowd this chair too much and I try to squat down, I'm going to end up getting this back leg in the way. I'm not going to have enough room. So think of it kind of like a lunge. If I'm going to take a step forward, I have to make sure that when I step, I have enough room to get down versus being right here. I'm crowded. I don't have enough room. So back leg goes up on the chair. My front foot's going to be a little further out. So then it allows me to have a little bit of room on the way down. Again, whatever legs in front, sure you have enough room. And when I go down, my knee wants to stay or wants to go at least over top of my ankle, or maybe even out towards my toes a little bit. I want to keep a little forward lean with my body. I shouldn't be leaning backwards trying to stay straight up. I'm going to stand back up to the top, trying to use this front leg as much as possible, trying not to push off of this back leg. And it's down, back to the top. So that's kind of the middle ground. That one would be maybe for your intermediate or beginner. So to scale that movement down a little bit, make it a little bit easier, we're just going to go a step back lunge. So if you're not comfortable doing a split squat, we're going to go step back lunge. So it's just going to be step back, down, tap our knee, back to the top. Seems pretty simple. A way you could make both of them harder is you grab a backpack, I can hug it, add a little bit of weight, step back, tap, back to the top. Same thing with the split squat. Foot can be back up on here. I can go down, tap, back to the top, adding a little bit of difficulty with the weight. So weight with the Bulgarian split squat would be your hardest. Just doing a body weight Bulgarian split squat would be the next, or easier than that. And then easier than that would be your lunges. Just doing a step back lunge. Again, if you want to add a little bit of weight, we're just trying to work on a little lower body strength. So once we're done with whichever version of those you want to do, we're going to do a skater squat. So again, skater squats would be the hardest one. You want to grab a little pillow, put it down on the ground. We're going to work on a little single leg strength. So I'm going to have one foot in front of the pillow, and I'm trying to focus on going down nice and controlled. So skater squats, right now for today, it doesn't matter if you can stand up on your own. We're just trying to go down slow and controlled. Really leaning over top of that front foot. I'm going to tap my knee to the ground, and then I'm just going to stand back up. I don't need to only use my front leg to stand back up. Right back on one leg. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap. Stand back up. So that would be the hardest, is doing these skater squats. A little bit easier than that would be a crouch lunge. So crouch lunge is kind of similar to what I tried to show what not to do when you're doing the split squat. It's getting in a little bit of a narrow stance, and then I'm trying to get my knee, same thing as the split squat, or the skater squat, excuse me. I'm trying to get my knee come down behind my heel. So I'm going down, slow and controlled. That knee taps back behind my foot, and I'm going to stand back up to the top. So it adds a little bit of assistance with that back leg. Makes it a little bit easier on our balance. But same thing, I'm going to try to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tap, stand back up. So again, all of them are going to be 5 seconds on the way down, and I'm going to do 10 each leg. Okay, whichever version you wanted to do, whether it's having that leg up in the air, going down, or doing our crouch lunge, that foot stays on the ground the whole time. But once we're done with that, we are going to go with a wall set. So knees stay over top of the ankles, back's nice and flat against the wall, and we're just going to hold a squat on the wall, or whether you have your phone in front of you telling you time, clock, whatever, we're going to hold it for 60 seconds. So if you can't do 60 seconds straight, you're going to do 30, stand up, take a little rest, and then do another 30 seconds. So again, 60 seconds total, then grab a little drink of water, take about 2-3 minutes, and then again, we're going to go through all of that again 3 more times after the first one. So it's going to be four rounds total with the lower body, and then we'll go over the upper body. So for this next part, you guys are going to need a towel and a bed sheet. Doesn't matter, I guess, what size. Probably one that your parents have sitting around that they don't really care about, just because we're probably going to end up utilizing these a little bit, or quite a bit over the summer. So you're going to take the bed sheet, fold it in half, then you're going to take the towel and put it through the bed sheet and fold it up like so. You might need to make sure that the bed sheet's a little bit more flat rather than just a big ball. You're going to throw it up over the top of the door, pull it down and through, and again, making sure that it's a little bit more flat so your door can close relatively easily. So once you have that set up, that's not going to be the first thing that we start with, but I just wanted to show you guys what we're going to probably end up utilizing a little bit. So first thing we're going to do, again, you're going to have 2 different options for the first exercise, 2 different options for the second. Again, adjusting to your skill level. So first one, we're going to go in RDL stance. Again, this one will be the hardest. So whatever arm the weight is in, you're going to go down, that same leg's going to go back. So if the weight's in my right arm, right leg's going to go back, and we're going to go into an RDL stance. Again, this is for those who know and have done it before, a little bit more difficult. So down into that RDL stance. Again, we're going to do a row, really trying to keep shoulders square, driving that elbow up and back. And I'm going to do 10 with one arm, switch the other leg, 10 with the other one. Really making sure when I do that RDL, that back leg stays nice and straight. We're not here, not down on the ground. Again, that one would be the hardest one. The next option would be a bent over row. So you could, still not supporting your body weight, I'm going to stick my butt back in that same RDL position, and we're going to do a single arm row. Still trying to drive that elbow back and out to the side, and I'm going to do 10 one arm, 10 with the other. The easiest way to do this would be supported. So I'm not sticking my butt back quite as far. My chest is still towards the ground. My back's relatively flat. And I'm going to push my weight into the wall. And I'm going to do 10 rows with one arm, switch, 10 with the other arm. Again, this way is going to be a little bit easier. You're not going to have to use your body to support you. So 10 with one arm, 10 with the other. Again, you have those different options on how to complete that. Next one, you're either going to use a sheet, we're going to do some rows with the sheet, or you're going to do push-ups. So same as the lower body was, we're going to try to go a little bit more controlled, a little bit slower. So if you're doing the rows, make sure your sheet's relatively tight, slack's taken out of it, but we're going to cheat down towards the end of it, And I'm trying to keep my body in a nice straight line. I'm going to pull up to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the way back down. My arms get straight again. Yeah, I'm not using my hips. My body's nice and straight. I'm squeezing my butt. Pull up to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to do 10 rows. Again, 5 seconds on the way down. Or you're going to do push-ups. So whether you go a normal push-up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds on the way down, getting your chest all the way down to the ground. You don't have to push yourself up. You could just reset back at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if you're strong enough, you can push yourself back to the top each time. And then the easiest version would be going off of our knees. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really trying to make sure when we go down, our elbows stay relatively close to my side and we're not going way out in front. So again, 10 push-ups or 10 rows. Good control on the way down. Then last thing we're going to do face pulls. So I'm going to grab the top of the blanket. My palms are going to face down towards the ground. But same thing, I'm going to go down into a nice straight line. I'm going to drive my elbows back, keep them nice and high up above my shoulders. And I'm going to pull towards my cheekbones and back down. Pull up, squeeze, back down. So, yeah, you're going to do, the face pulls will be 15. So you're going to do whatever you want to do for the first 2 options for the first exercise, first 2 options, or one of the 2 options for the second exercise. 15 face pulls, take 2 minutes, 3 minutes of rest. And again, we're going to do 4 rounds total with those exercises. So midline work, we're just going to do to end it. It's going to be 3 rounds, 3 different exercises. So first one we're going to do, we're going to work on plank with a shoulder tap. So hands are a little bit closer, my feet are a little bit wider. Trying to balance or act like I'm balancing a glass of water on my low back. I'm lift my hand up, tap my shoulder, back down. So I'm trying not to wiggle my hips all over the place. Tap, back down. Nice and controlled, nice and slow. But I'm going to do 10 each shoulder. So 1, 2, all the way until I get to 20. Once you're done that, we're going to work on our hollow hold. So just like we did our hollow ups in the warm-up, hollow holds, same thing. You're going to start toes pointed away, arms up above our head. We're going to lift up, squeeze. I'm going to count to 15, back down. Take 5 to 10 seconds. Same thing. Up, count to 15 in my head, back down. And then I'm going to do it one last time. Again, take 5 to 10 seconds in between. Lift up. Count to 15. Back down. Once we're done with that, we're going to do toe taps. So, feet are going to be up and away from me. We're going to sit up and tap our toes, alternating back and forth each time. Or at least trying to get to tongues on our shoe. So, that's going to be 10 taps each foot, 20 total. And again, we're going to do 3 rounds of those 3 exercises just for a little midline work.